Today we're going to learn how to write the equation of a circle. Now, just like any other thing that we graph, a circle has an equation in standard form. Kind of like the linear equation standard form is y equals mx plus b. A circle in standard form is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Now, just like in linear equations, the m and the b stands for something. M is slope, b is y-intercept. In this equation, the h and the k, so right here and right here, represent the center of the circle. Let's talk about what I mean by that. Okay, I'm just going to draw in a y-axis and an x-axis. Then I'll draw in a circle. Okay, so the center of the circle is the center of the circle. I mean, it's kind of common sense. So like if I were trying to locate the center of a circle on a graph, I would have to go right about 2 for this one. So 2. And then up, we'll just say 2 as well. So the center of this circle is right 2, up 2. Now, in the equation, it's known as h and k. So like 2 would be the h value, 2 would be the k value. Now, we're also going to learn about the radius of the circle. The radius is the distance from the center of the circle to any side. Okay, so like if I start at the center and go to the side, that would be the radius. And I don't know why it's not doing it. Okay, well anyway, I'll just hand draw instead of trying to do the shapes. Okay, so this would be the radius of the circle. What is it called if you go across the entire circle? Diameter. Okay, so we are going to be given 2 pieces of information today. They're going to give you the center of the circle and they're going to give you the radius. And you are going to write the equation of that circle in standard form. Okay? Now, I suggest always writing out the equation first. Write out x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Now you'll notice that even though I said x minus h, I didn't actually write the h. Same thing over there with the y minus k. I didn't write the k. And I also didn't write the r squared. Why do you think I didn't actually write those? Because that's the information they've given me to plug in. Okay, so if this is the center of the circle, what is the negative 6? That's your h. What's the 5? Okay, so if I go down here to the formula where h is supposed to go, I would put a negative 6. But what will happen there? Right, a minus a negative 6 becomes plus 6. So, do you kind of see why I suggest go ahead and write out the equation? Because if not, you might forget about that minus being there as part of the formula, and then you might just plug in minus 6 and end up with x minus 6 instead of x plus 6. But if you already have that minus written there, before you ever go to plug in your h and k, it'll become obvious to you that it changes to a positive. Okay, so over here, y minus k, what's the k value? 5. And then you're supposed to look at the radius, which is 4, and square it. So 4 squared is 16, and then you're done. This is the equation of a circle that has a radius of 4, and the center is located at negative 6, positive 5. That's all we're doing today. Okay, I'm doing 2 more, and then we're done with the lesson. Number 2, they've given us a center at 2, negative 5, and they've given us a radius that is 3 square roots of 2. They want us to write the equation of that circle. So, I'm going to go ahead and write out the equation. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Okay, well, what is the h? 2, so I plug it in. What is the k? Okay, so if I plug in a -5 where k goes, what happens? It becomes y plus 5. So basically, what people have been noticing all day is when you plug it in, it's just the opposite of what it was up here in the point. And then equals 3 squared to 2, but we're supposed to square it. Okay, let's look at what that looks like on the calculator. Okay, let me pull up mine. Okay, I'm going to show you two different ways of typing it in. 3 square root 2 and then square. Oops, and I messed up because I forgot to arrow over. See, after I put that 2, I'm still up under the square root, so I need to arrow over to let it know that that's the only thing that goes up under it. And then I square it, and I get that. Or, what if I type it in like this? 3 square root 2, arrow over, and then square it. They're obviously different answers, so only one can be correct. What's correct? Correct, the top one. Because what is the radius that they gave us? Y'all, look at the paper. What's the radius? 3 square root 2. And aren't you supposed to square the entire radius? Yes. In this particular way of typing it in, the only thing being squared is this square root of 2. Well, that's not fair to the 3 because it's also the radius, right? The whole radius is 3 square roots of 2. So to show the calculator that you want to square all of it, you have to put it in parentheses. Does everybody understand? So it equals 18. Okay, example 3. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Okay, well, x minus h, what is your h? Correct? Y minus k, what is your k? 4. And then what is your radius squared? 25. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to turn to page 5. There are 10 problems for you to practice. They shouldn't take you long. So after you finish them, you'll use your remaining time to go back to pages 2 and 3 from yesterday and finish any of those. Because we do have a 10 square next Friday, and it would be silly to get to that day and not have the stuff you need for the 10 square when you have plenty of time today to get it done. Now, some of you have makeup tests in 10 squares from last unit, and I'll call you up in a minute to do those.